Jerry's background is in software engineering and engineering leadership. I have some sales experience, but you've done both. And now you're also leading Cisco's Innovation Lab. So your career story is absolutely fascinating. And it really emulates an uncommon path between what most people would consider two separate worlds, being sales and engineering. But we've heard from several engineering leaders on our show that the skills or the experience that they've learned from sales has been an absolute essential skill to help with their success as an engineering leader, to help the company adopt new ideas, to sell new programs, features, or just new paths and strategies forward. Maulie, can you tell us a little bit about your story for how you arrived at Cisco's Innovation Lab? How and why did you go from engineer to business development and sales and now back to innovation and engineering? Give us a little bit of the arc here.
Yeah, I think my career overall in the past 20, 21 years has been the common through line, and like what guides my career is learning and curiosity. And so to your point, I graduated with an electrical and computer engineering degree. I went into design verification and design automation with a semiconductor company. And, that was outside of Cisco at National Semiconductor. And then I moved to Cisco, basically doing something really similar. And so I was in hardware design, board design, and ASIC verification and automation for, I would say, like the first 4 or 5 years of my career. And then as we started to see success in our product, I'd always get this news like, oh, this board that your ASIC sits on top of is one of the best selling products at Cisco. And I'd sit there and I would think, gosh, I don't even understand why. I don't even understand the use case. Why is this actually so interesting? Why is this flying off the shelves? And so that was kind of the initial reason why I started to explore other roles. There's a variety of field-facing roles because, there's post-sales or like support and professional services. So we have an amazing bench at Cisco of like network consulting engineers, for instance, and they're so smart. I can't even like fathom. It's amazing. And then you have like folks that are looking at, okay, what's the product roadmap? What should be? That's like your technical marketing bench. And then you have actual sales and sales engineering. And they're the ones that partner with an account manager in a traditional enterprise tech sales environment. And they'll go out and, build credibility. What you're selling really is your trust, but you are right in front and center of customers and their pain. And so I went from engineering to sales, spent about 15 years overall in sales in a variety of roles. Ultimately fell in love with what is next, because a customer could say, hey, I need a switch that does X, Y, and Z. And after a while, you're kind of normalizing your story. The value is normalized. This is just how you solve this problem. But what about those problems that aren't solved and they're actually tough to solve? And what about the stuff that doesn't exist or is really nascent or really emerging? What can we do with there? Because that's where the new market opportunity is. And so even in sales, my journey gravitated from sales engineering to actually business development and kind of building net new and always thinking about the art of the possible. But the challenge there is you can only do so much in sales, right? At the end of the day, when stuff hits the fan, you have to help the team make the number. And now this is about, 20 years into my career. So this was just last year exactly. I thought, okay, I'm in my mid 40s. I'm thinking about the back half of my career. I want to stay employed. How do I do that? Because, you have ageism and whatnot in tech. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to modernize my skill set. There's a lot to do here. So many things have changed. Last time I coded was when code wasn't connected to the internet. So this is going to be a lot. But what I know I have is an empathy towards customers and their pain. And so what I have is a fondness for net new and the unexplored. And what I know I'm good at is, having a big, hairy, ambiguous problem in front of me with no clarity and then just going after it, figuring it out. So maybe innovation is this right spot. And I got quite lucky to find a role at that particular time. And now I lead Cisco Innovation Labs. So here I am. So now I have gotten back into coding. So many things have changed. So many things haven't changed. That's like an experience and a trip all in of itself. But the best part about my job is I get to talk with customers all the time. Not in a selling capacity. I don't need to do that. We have amazing talent at Cisco that sells very well and aligns our solutions to customer problems. But I get to always have the conversation like, what's next? What's unsolved for? Should we go figure it out together? And so that's kind of the journey of my career.